Hi, I'm Michael Kisur, and I'm a work in progress. I've had obsessive compulsive disorder since I was a young child, and I've also battled with depression in my life. Having OCD means that I'm a perfectionist. I want to do everything perfectly. I want to meet a certain standard that I can't ever meet, and it gets tiring, it gets exhausting. I find that I don't forgive myself as easily as I should for mistakes I've made, especially in the past, things I go over and over in my life. I wish I could let go of things. Letting go is probably one of the biggest phrases in my life that I pursue. To let go of things. It gets very difficult at times. I've got to do everything right. I've got to do everything perfectly. I've got to meet this standard. I've got to meet this perfectionist nature that I live by, this code that I try to live by, that I can never truly live by. And that's part of the problem. Mental illness is a burden to bear for sure. Has it brought me things that are sometimes wondrous, sometimes good? Sure, it has. But when I look at the balance between the different things, I have to say, hey, I'd rather live without mental illness. But I can't. I've got it. OCD is for life. I do the best I can to deal with it, and it sometimes gets very tiring. The stress, the anxiety, it's an anxiety disorder, and so it puts a lot of pressure on a person. I'm not trying to complain. I'm not trying to say, hey, woe is me. It could be worse, and that's for sure. I've been given a lot of gifts in my life, and I'm proud of those things that I've been able to accomplish. I do, however, feel that I've wasted a lot of time, and that sticks with me. That's something that I have got to forgive myself for again. That's another forgiveness that has to be given. Have I made mistakes? Have I turned the wrong corner? Have I gone down the wrong road? I certainly have. And I've got to try to let go of those things. I've got to try to let myself move forward, to let go of the past. Again, let go, let go, let go. And that goes hand in hand with the depression that I often feel. This depression that will take me over, that will make me feel like I'm worthless. I haven't done enough. I won't ever do enough. It kind of steals your future while you live in the past, while you get stuck in the past, while you go over the past, while you ruminate over these various things that you've done. You're stealing your future. You're not allowing yourself to move forward. And I think that's another thing that I do in loads. I mean, I'm doing that far too often, and especially these days. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I found that as COVID took over the world, it took over my life. And again, it's not all about me, certainly not. But for me personally, I found, and as I know for other people suffering with mental illness, that the ante was upped, that things got a little bit more severe. My symptoms became more prominent, and I'm dealing with that as well, trying to find a way out of it. Doing weekly therapy, weekly talk therapy. And I think one of the biggest things is I've got to learn to show myself compassion. I think we all do. And anyone dealing with a mental illness has to learn to show themselves a little bit more compassion, a little forgiveness, a little understanding to say, I'm doing the best I can. I don't always do the right thing according to me. I don't always do what's perfect, but I'm doing the best I can, and I need to move forward. I need to do the things that I can do to try to make things a little bit better in my life. And one of those things is to love myself, is to show myself that understanding, is to show myself that gentle hand to say, hey, you're okay. You're doing the best you can. You got to just move forward. You got to move forward with this. We're not all perfect. I recently heard someone saying, most people live between right and wrong. We're not absolute. I didn't do everything wrong. I don't do everything right. I never will do everything right. And I never will do everything wrong, even when I think I am doing everything wrong. And hey, that does happen where I say to myself, you're really messing up. Or you really messed that up. Or that is forever now. You've screwed that up and you're never going to come back from that. As with many obsessions in my life, I'll say to myself, you're done. You've done it. You've made a mess of this and you'll never, ever, this is never going to be right. And more often than not, actually always, it's not as bad as I think it is. But at the moment, it is threatening. The anxiety goes up. The body temperature even goes up. I feel feverish sometimes when these things happen. It's not the way to live. And for those of you out there who may be suffering from a mental illness, there is always hope. There's always an opportunity to turn a different corner, to go down a different road, to change the way things are, even if it isn't perfect, even if it isn't absolutely the way you'd want it to be. It can always be better, and it will get better. I've had moments when things have been a lot better. I've had moments when things were not so great, and I thought they would stay not so great forever. But even in doing this video, I feel like I'm making a step in a certain direction to say, hey, I'm going to try to make things better for myself. I'm going to try to put some good words out there for people, anyone who might be listening to this. And I don't know if anyone will listen to this, but hopefully. And if you are, I hope you're getting some help from it, or some inspiration or some motivation. Because I'm really not trying to present this, like I said before, this woe is me, how this is so bad and I'll never get out of it. I do believe that I can move forward. I do believe that I can make things better. I've always believed that. I do at times also believe, as I've said, that things will never get better. But they do get better. And I always have to keep that in the back of my mind, that things will get better, that things can improve, that nothing is static, nothing is forever bad, that I can let go of things. Maybe not let go of everything, or maybe let go of things in stages. And steps, stages, another thing I've never been that great at. Being OCD, I want to make the big leaps. I want to be the multimillionaire, the instant success, the guy who's making everything happen, the mover, the shaker, the guy who has it all going on perfectly, is moving in the right direction, has his ducks in a row, if you will. Everything is working perfectly and everything is in sync with the way it should be. Well, it doesn't go like that. Life isn't like that. So I have to learn to take these steps, to move step by step in the right direction towards what it is that I want to have for myself and what it is that I want to have for my mental health. And that is to just have more peace, to know happiness more frequently, to understand what it is to really, really love yourself, to really feel that, and then be able to love others even more fully. As I said in the beginning, I'm a work in progress. How about you? Do you often feel that way? Maybe you do. If you do, just know that there's always hope. There's always a chance to get better. There's always a chance to improve. And I truly believe that. I don't believe, as I said, that everything is static, that we are meant to be a certain way, and that's the way we're going to be, and that's the only way we're going to be. There is always an opportunity to make things better. I'm trying to do that. And like I said, this video is maybe one step in that direction. I will say that I got a new lighting for this video. And that light is throwing me off a little bit. I'm obsessing on that a little bit. So that's been something that's been going on. As it is with OCD, you often have a different thought pattern going on in the background, or well, I should say multiple thought patterns. Although I did learn from a neuropsychologist that we can't think more than one thought at a time. So what I'm doing is I'm jumping from thought to thought very, very quickly. So it appears that I'm thinking of more than one thing at a time. But this light has been throwing me off a little bit. I hope it looks good. I don't know. Anyway, it's something I've been contending with while I do this video. That's a little bit of a challenge for myself to say, hey, it's okay. The light is working perfectly. Just do your video. So these are different things that go on in the mind of someone with obsessive compulsive disorder, in the mind of someone with a mental illness, a lifelong mental illness sufferer. That's me. I have to accept it. I think I have accepted it. Or I'm still trying to accept it. I'm not even sure sometimes. Sometimes I think I'd rather live in the dream, live up on the cloud where I'm thinking, hey, I'll get over it. It'll go away. It never will, and that's okay. I've got to just learn to deal with it. I've got to learn to accept it. I've got to learn to move forward with what it is that I do have and try to think the best of things. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you're feeling okay. I know things can get rough for all of us. And I know that as I'd mentioned earlier, during this pandemic, for many, many of us, we're suffering a lot more than we used to. And people who haven't even exhibited symptoms of a mental illness are now exhibiting such symptoms. And people are needing help. I hope you don't feel restricted in asking for help, because there's certainly a lot of help out there. I've received a lot of help in my life, a lot of good people. A lot of people really do care. I hope you're out there thinking and knowing that you can get better, that you can get the help that you so very, very much deserve, that you may need. Please don't hesitate if you need help. I'm looking forward to doing more videos. I'm looking forward to getting better at doing these videos. But I do thank you very much for watching, if you're still watching, and I appreciate it very much. I do wish you all very, very well, and thanks again.